All right, welcome to the Wilmer Fire Department. It is an exciting day and an exciting time of the year because it is the 7th annual Story Time at the Fire Station. We're here with Jody from the Early Childhood Initiative. Tell us everything that's going on today, who's involved with it, and what people can expect to see if they did not make it to this year's event.
Rudy, it's great to be here, and thank you so much for coming out and joining us for the evening. You know, it's our 7th annual, like we said, and it's a great night for kids to learn about fire safety, as well as a great night to learn about literacy and the importance of literacy at home. So when they come to the fire station, you know, they come through the lines, they can see the fire trucks like you see behind us. They have a meal that they are getting. They can eat with the firefighters. And then we're going to be reading a story to the children. There will be a gear demo. We have door prizes. It's just going to be a great night for our families again tonight.
It's exciting, and I know that there's other bunch of people that are here, and they have some displays out, and those things are basically information for people. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yep, we have a resource tables out. We have the Wilmer Public Library here talking about the play spot literacy environment that the Children's Museum will be constructing at the library starting the end of October. We have Heartland Head Start here talking about preschool as well as energy assistance and that type of thing. We have the Growmobile here talking about Imagination Library. We have our early childhood family programs here talking about ECFE, preschool. We have public health here. We have the Wilmer Police Department, the Wilmer Fire Department, all giving out great information for our families tonight.
So it's not just about the story time here at the fire department, it's a lot of resources, and as always, if you did make it and you're interested in some of those resources, they can always give you a call and you can put people in touch with who they need to depending on what they're looking for.
Absolutely. Anyone can call me if they have any questions about anything that we've done at the fire station or any parenting information, resource information. I'm housed over at Community Ed and Rec, so they can just call the main number at Community Ed and Rec, which is 231-8490, and they can ask for me and I'll gladly help them.
All right. Well, you already had a chance to see what was going on here. You probably saw the food. I'm really hungry, so I think it's time now to go get something to eat. All right. You're watching the Do You Know Show.
Hi, everybody. We're meeting with Mary Catherwood and Russ Bennett today, and we're going to find out more about the COG, the community-owned grocery store. This is really exciting stuff, and so if you haven't heard about the COG, you definitely want to know about it. You want to know how to be a member. So, Mary, tell all of our viewers today all about the community-owned grocery store, or the COG.
Well, thank you, Jamin. We are all very excited about the community-owned grocery store opening up here in Wilmer. We have been organizing for about 2 years. This was a dream that grew out of the Becker Market 2 years ago in the summer. And 1 year ago, we were incorporated, established a board of directors, and started signing up memberships.
And how much is a membership, Mary?
Well, a membership is $200. It is buying a share of stock in the grocery. You join the grocery and you are an owner of the grocery along with the rest of us. You can find out how to join online, wilmercog.com. Our grocery, this will be a full-service grocery. It'll be in downtown Wilmer, we hope. We are currently looking for a site, and we can perhaps talk about that in a moment. But it will be, this grocery will have everything on your shopping list. So if you want to shop at just only one place, that'll work great. We are featuring locally grown foods, healthy foods. We will have organic foods available. We will have a full-service deli. I'm particularly excited about that with healthy food in it. We intend to have a store of 7,000 to 10,000 square feet, and we will have off-street parking. And so it'll be a wonderful place to shop, a wonderful place to hang out, and a wonderful place to learn more about a healthy lifestyle.
Help our people who are watching on the television and they're saying to themselves, well, how is this different from, in some towns they have a co-op or they have a health food store. How is this different?
This is a co-op. This is what I call the 21st century wave of co-ops. And if you've been following the news, you know that there really is a boom in healthy food movement and in co-ops nationwide. So it's a co-op because it's owned by all of the members and the shoppers. It is different because it has everything that you will need to buy in this one grocery store. It's more than just bulk goods, it's more than dry goods. And to the extent that we can, we are going to be using all of the local producers and suppliers that you have met in the farmers market over the years.
So it's going to be a lot of homegrown tomatoes and all kinds of stuff that people could get from their neighbor if their neighbor had a greenhouse.
It will be locally grown, yes, as I said, to the extent that we can. It will be far more free of pesticides and chemicals than what you might traditionally find in a grocery store. And of course, we're looking forward to that also. Another way that the COG will be different from what people may have experienced in the past is that it will be professionally run. We will have 20 to 25 employees. We intend to provide good jobs with benefits for our local people.
Well, it sounds really exciting. So it's been going on for a couple years, and people can become a member. They can go to wilmercog.com, and then they can become a member. And then when the store gets up and running, they'll get discounts and they'll be able to vote on things. It'll be a professionally run store. Anything else that we'd like them to know?
Well, for people who aren't ready to join yet, they are also welcome in our store, and they're welcome to participate in the COG forums that we are having every couple of months here in Willmar. But would urge people to try to join, to support us if they can, and you can start your membership at $50 if you wish.
Sounds exciting. Something new, and it will add jobs, and it certainly will create a big buzz downtown with lots of people going in and out.
We're really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a wonderful addition to our community.
Well, fantastic. Thanks for all your hard work, Mary, and to all the people that you've worked with to see this come to fruition. We're going to meet with Russ Bennett, and we're going to find out more from one of our community leaders about why he's involved in this exciting grocery store being developed. I'm sitting here with one of our business leaders from the region, Russ Bennett, who owns Bennett Office Technologies, and they do all kinds of things. But he's here today to tell me more about why he's involved with a community-owned grocery store, the COG or the COG, that is being developed for the region and centered in Willmar. And we are really curious. How does a business guy like you, who is running multiple things, decide that you're going to get involved in something like a community-owned grocery store?
Well, Jamin, thank you for having us here today. There's a couple of things that really struck my chords. Many of you know that I've been very active in the Chamber of Commerce here in town, also on the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce for 6 years. So I'm really excited about the locally grown portion of this. I know this really surprised me, but I know in one of our stores they had actually had garlic from China. And some people complained and that got changed, but I'm excited about that. As a grandparent, I have 4 grandchildren. They're already showing some signs of allergies, and having some organic, some naturally grown, and certainly pesticide free or limited, that's exciting to me. I'm really excited about that. So there's a lot of different elements to it, but I just think it's a great addition, and I'm excited to be the board president.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Board President. We're excited for you too. But as a businessman, you know how these kinds of things work. You started businesses and had them succeed. So tell everybody a little bit about how people like yourself are making this become a reality.
Well, one of the things that I found out maybe it was when I actually joined the board, but being in business, my Bennett Office Technologies has changed a lot since we were in the Schwegman building in 1981 just selling office supplies. Now we're doing way different things. And every time that I've had to change my business, I brought in consultants, local consultants like Brad Rice or other consultants from out of town. And the COG has, in my opinion, the finest set of consultants that can be found. When we follow their directions and their advice and listen to them, I think we are guaranteed success.
If you're sitting on your couch right now and you're saying to yourself, community-owned grocery store, how could I be involved in that? I mean, they don't have a building yet, but they do have people who are working like yourself very actively. Maybe there's a retiree who's home. His wife might be watching this show and saying, My husband, he could help with that. That would be a really good thing, and it would help our grandkids. How could people get involved?
I think go to the website, learn about us, learn about co-ops, learn about what we're trying to do, and then contact someone like Mary or me or one of the other people that are on the board. We'd always love to have more people involved. We have a great marketing committee with Nick Davis and Famous Davis. They're doing some fabulous work for us. Join us on the Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. I think Nick has set that up. So there's a lot of ways to find out about us, and I think the more that you learn, the more excited you'll be about what we're trying to do.
Well, congratulations. I know that it's been a lot of work, and it will be a lot of work, but soon you'll get to see your dream come a reality.
Especially if all our listeners will take the time to become a member. We did surpass the 300 mark for our members. Our next mark is 600. We need to double that. And actually, I think when we open the store, we better be near 1,000 members. So you can't wait. It's not a chicken and egg thing. It's definitely a membership thing.
Well, we'll encourage everybody. Get out your checkbook and pick up your phone and find out more on the website, or find out more by calling these folks that we've interviewed today about the community-owned grocery store. It's a wonderful thing. I've been to Decorah, Iowa, and seen their community-owned grocery store, and it's just fabulous. It's so fun to go down there and have lunch and see your neighbors and buy fresh and organic fruits and vegetables and all kinds of other things. So we want to encourage you. Find out about this new and exciting thing, the community-owned grocery store, the WilmerCOG.com. We want to encourage you all to look it up, find out more, get out your checkbook, mail them a check, and become a member. You're watching the Do You Know Show, and we're moving on.
Hi, it's Jody again, and I just want to thank everyone for coming out for another great event at the fire station. The 7th annual Storytime with the Firefighters was a huge success. Thank you to everyone who attended and also all of the sponsors to make it happen. So thank you very much. The next thing I want to talk to you about today is our next WOW event, which is coming up in November, and it is going to be held at Jefferson Learning Center. And the topic or theme for the night per se is going to be on the TRACK program. And TRACK stands for Teaching Responsible and Caring Kids. And that evening we are going to be talking about the TRACK program and what we are doing at Jefferson Learning Center, but it is open to everyone in the community, so I hope you come out and join us. The other thing that I want to tell you about today is how excited we all are in Willmar to be the recipient of a Minnesota Children's Museum permanent play spot literacy environment at the Willmar Public Library. They are going to be starting construction mid-November, and they will be finished by the end of November. And this is a very exciting thing for the community of Willmar to have. The Children's Museum has constructed it, and they have done all the architectural work, and it will be housed in the children's section at the library. So I encourage you to come down to the Willmar Public Library and watch as they're constructing this. It is going to be a great, great thing for young kids and their families. And then the last thing, just as a reminder, if you have children 3.5 years old and they have not gone through early childhood screening, please give Community Ed and Rec a call so we can get them an appointment for November or December. Have a great day, and you are watching Do You Know?
This is Susan Matson, Master Gardener, and today we are at Late Bloomer on First Street, and I'm with Pam and Judy. We're looking at some fall decorations, both real and both silk. And so there are some things here in front of us and behind us that you can use in and outside of your home. So we'll look at some of the things on the table, and maybe Pam can start out by telling us a little bit about some of the arrangements that they have put together using bittersweet. We have some cattails here. As you can see, the cattails are in a packet. And we have some wheat. We also have Indian corn or Indian popcorn. And believe it or not, this is not real Indian popcorn, but it looks like it. The gourds are real on the table, and we have pumpkins. Lots of pumpkins here this year. It's a good crop. So Pam, maybe you could tell a little bit about how you can use this material in an arrangement in your house or as a decoration.
Well, as you see in the dish garden, there is twigs. That's real popular this year, the birch branches. And then we have the bittersweet that you can put in any plant you have at home, or you could add it to a fresh arrangement. And then we've also just decorated with some silk sunflowers. And it's in like a fall tin container, which is nice for the fall. And you could display this on like a coffee table or on a dining room table. And then for the fresh flowers, again, we've got the twigs. And then in that, we've added the broom corn. And you can also add a little artificial bird in there if you've got birds at home. Otherwise, we have some really fun birds with the fall look on the leaves. And then you could add even the fresh gourds into the arrangements.
Now I see you have the fresh gourds. You have put them on wooden sticks. Is that going to hurt the gourd at all?
No, the gourds will last for quite a while. Eventually, you know, they'll start to rot after they've been punctured. But then you can insert them in the floral arrangements for an accent.
Okay, Judy, would you like to tell a little bit about what anything else that we have on here that you've worked with?
Well, I mostly do the plants, but I do some floral arrangements. This one I didn't do, Bruce did. I like the purple, really brightens up, and the green mums, the green button mums are really pretty. These little daisy mums, I love them. A lot of color, and like she said, the broom plant is really neat. Puts a little whimsical movement in the arrangement, and just varied greens, and I love this stuff. I don't know.
This is the Blazing Star, I think it's called, and this is something that you might have in your garden at home. I know, just looking at the flowers that she has here, you may have mums. You probably will have Blazing Star. You can find some sticks, twigs to add, and you can pick up some supplies here if you're looking for a basket, or as Pam said, they have some beautiful copper tone, looks like baskets or tins that can be used to hold flower arrangements. Anything else that you'd like to add, Judy?
I love these. These are my personal fall favorite, because these are silk Chinese lanterns. And they keep their color. They've got a wire in them, so you can bend them and play with them, and or cut them apart. And they just add a lot of color, and I don't know, they're just fun.
And I think that all of these decorations that you can put together are very applicable from September, October, and through the month of November, all the way through Thanksgiving. I don't really start putting my Christmas stuff out until after Thanksgiving, but this is give you some beautiful ideas of things you can use right now, and you can carry them all the way through the month of November until it's time to change. Anything else, Pam, that you would like to add?
One thing I forgot is we're doing a lot with the burlap ribbon, lengths of ribbon. We're using them in wreaths and plants and fresh, and just to any accent, any home decor for the fall or Christmas season.
I know I've seen, just looking around the shop here, I've seen quite a few almost like table runners, so they're a little bit larger than this. This is like a 6-inch maybe.
Yep, and it's really nice because there's a lot of length to it, and you can use it on your dining room table amongst your pumpkins and your Indian corn and your gourds, and just kind of nestle the ribbon in between with the other items throughout, and it would make a nice fall display.
Well, thank you very much. This has been Do You Know, and we're at Late Bloomers today.
All right, it is a Do You Know show, and we are here with Randy Sather from Chapel Central, and a great program that you guys just finished up with called Heat Up Minnesota. Tell us a little bit about what that program is all about.
Yeah, thanks, Rudy. Yeah, this is something that started, last year over in Wisconsin. And basically what it is, it's a Lennox Corporation, Lennox Furnaces, decided to give away some free furnaces to people in need, people with, hard luck stories or whatever. And we were at a dealer meeting up in Brainerd about 6 weeks ago, and they brought this up and kind of explained to us Minnesota dealers what they did in Wisconsin, and showed us some pictures of all that, of how it went over, and we really wanted to be part of it too. We didn't want to be outdone by Wisconsin dealers, so majority of the dealers got on board on this thing, and the goal was to shoot for 100 free furnaces installed in the state of Minnesota here October 6th, which was a week ago. And so what they did is basically there was a website, heatupminnesota.org, and people could nominate somebody with a hard luck story or just anybody they wanted to, and the Lennox reps and stuff, our area, there was 24 applications, and they narrowed it down to about 4 and sent us the 4. And of course, that was probably the hardest part of this whole project, was being the guy that had to go through and read these. They were all very deserving, stories. Some almost brought tears to your eyes when you read about some of the things that some of these people went through. But I had to narrow it down to 1, and I just couldn't do it, So I called my rep and I said, we're in a big enough area here. I've got the manpower. Can we get another furnace? And he made some calls and said, yeah, we'll do that. So now we're shooting 50% because I had 4 and 2 of them, and still, like I say, there was some that didn't get, and there's some other opportunities for them too. But so we picked the 2, and of course the 2 names, like I say, the one is a Diane Parker here in town. This is the home that we're in front of today, and she was nominated by some of her workers at, I think it was Genio, and she'll probably tell more about her story. She's a single mom with 2 small children. And the other was a Mark and Ellen Sorgratz from Sacred Heart, Minnesota. So, like I say, both of them very deserving. I know Ellen has had some major health issues, brain aneurysms. Her husband's had some heart attacks. So, both of them real deserving families to be able to do this for. And like I say, it was, once I signed up for it, I came back, told our owner of Chapel Central, Craig Meyer, I said, this is what I did. What do you think? And he jumped on board and said, this is a great opportunity. He says, I think, this is good. So then the next step was getting guys to install, make sure I had enough guys to install. So I've got, basically there's 7 of us in the residential department that do installing, and I've got great qualified guys. And if I can just name them, there's basically Fran Smith, got to remember them all, Brad Steffens, Mike Newberg, Mark Selesky, Paul Kruger, and Dan Dykey were my cohorts in this project, and they were all on board, willing to do this, and we're excited to do it. And it was, like I say, I call it kind of a feel-good program, because Lennox does a good thing by giving away furnaces. The guys get to give back. It's just been a real positive thing.
And it wasn't just Chapel Central; there were others that were involved with it too. Why don't you mention them too?
Yeah, one of the jobs that we did was it was going from oil to propane, and of course, Lennox told us right out there's going to be no charge for any of this, and it was a gas furnace, so we had to get gas out to this house. So I went over and talked to Tom Dooley over at Dooley's Petroleum, kind of told him a story of what we were doing. My problem is, we need gas out there. And Tom jumped on board with us also. He supplied a propane tank, the first fill of gas at no charge. He pumped out the oil tank so we could remove the old oil tank. And so it was kind of a team effort to get this thing to work. And like I say, it was a lot of fun. We really had a good time doing it.
All right, well, that's cool. It's a part of what we do in our community. We all try to collaborate together, and like you said, a feel-good story. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling pretty good right now. So why don't we get a chance now? Let's go in, and we're going to talk with Diane, and we're going to talk with Ellen. Okay, we are inside our house. It's nice and toasty, warm. Diane, how exciting is it to have heat?
It's wonderful. It's going to be cold this winter.
It is. Now, tell me what you were thinking when you were found that, or you were picked as being one of the recipients along with Ellen.
I was a little shocked. I didn't know that I was nominated by my coworkers, but extremely overwhelmed with happiness and very thankful.
Very thankful. That's good. It's that time of the year to be thankful. Of course, every time of the year, every time you can be thankful about whatever it is, if it's a furnace or health or whatever, it's always good. Tell us a little bit about you and your family and why you were chosen.
We had a need for a new furnace. Our furnace was 32 years old. We have lived here for almost a year, and it was time for a new one. Pinching pennies, saving, but this way it's even better.
And
we can use those pennies we've been pinching for some other things. So.
And this looks like a very efficient furnace, so it's going to save you some money thanks to Chapel Central. Yeah. Ellen, now I hear you're excited about it too.
Oh my goodness.
How is everything over in Sacred Heart Toasty Warm?
Yeah, I woke up the first morning and I couldn't believe that I hadn't been cold that night.
That's a good thing. I don't know about you, but when I'm at home, when it's nice and toasty warm and the furnace is working, I just put my shorts on. You'll be able to do that now, won't you?
Yeah, I will.
So when you found out about you were being one of the recipients, what was going through your mind?
I was overwhelmed with happiness and gratitude, and I just couldn't believe that I had been chosen.
This is one of those things that you only see on TV, isn't it?
Yeah. It never happens to me.
That's right. It's kind of the way that it works. I'm hoping that's going to happen with the lottery for me too. But it's great that you both were chosen. I know the problem was that they couldn't just pick one, so you get to pick two families, two homes, and everything. It worked out good that way. What do you want to say to the guys, to Chapel?
I'm just so greatly indebted to them. I'm just overwhelmed with just so much gratitude. I can't express it all. It's just so overwhelming. Our furnace was like over 40 years old, an old fuel oil furnace, and it was not an efficient furnace at all. And our house was always cold. And I had a brain aneurysm and 2 strokes a little over 4 years ago, and I have trouble staying warm. And this gift is just so tremendous for our family.
It's not just about the furnace, it's about health and healthy living and being able to do the things that you want to do and not have to worry about the heat and being a part of what's going on in your home.
Right. I used to dread winters. And now I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that's good because that's one of us, right? Diane, what about you? What do you want to say to the guys?
Well, thanks first to Lennox for having the program. I know they did it last year in Wisconsin, and this is their first year in Minnesota. It's a great program. Also to Chapel Central. To the guys, I had Fran Smith and Brad Steffen here at the house. They were great to work with.
All right. Well, that's what we like to hear. We like to hear good stories this time of the year, and we're so happy for both of you and the families to get something as nice as this and, take a little bit of the worry away from basically keeping warm, which is what we should not have to worry about. But it's going to be a good Christmas, right?
Yes.
And a good Thanksgiving.
Very much so.
Yeah.
All right. There you have it. It's a good story, and we're so happy that everything worked out. Hey, just on timing, it kicks in. Woo! Man, what do you have it at? About 70 in here? All right. You are watching the Do You Know Show.
Don't forget that we offer pet tags down here at the shelter, and for a fee that you can pick up your tag, and we'll have it made in just a couple minutes. I'll show you here how we have that done. Like I say, it doesn't take us very long, and you'll have your tag in no time.
Thank you.